Hi, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com here with one more match for my John Souls of the Lost deck. We have some interaction, ways to fill graveyard, and a Ragavan, so we'll keep it. I finished my 5 matches, practice matches, but man, the last 3 just did not go the way I'd wanted to, so I feel like for my emotional and mental well-being, I need to try one more. See if I can not make mistakes along the way, and if I can, that'll make a difference or not. So we'll go get, they have the swamp, we need one, alright, well, we don't know what we're up against yet, but we'll get a stomping ground. So far we've been lucky to not have opponents scoop on us early. See if our luck changes. So yeah, we played Burn, Demir, Death Shadow, and Mill. Burn's a tough matchup, but I feel like we should have mulligan maybe a little bit more aggressively. Looks like we're playing Rhino, so that's cool. At least it looks like it's a tier deck and an opponent who wants to scoop. Thoughtseize is good. We're going to get punished though for not having fetched up a Blood Crypt last turn. So I guess that's the lesson there. We'll do Stitcher Supplier, start the graveyard filling. Yeah, with all the black spells, we probably should have definitely gotten a Blood Crypt, but playing 3 colors, that's why you play it. You learn these little, I mean, this could be the difference, right, of winning and losing. We'll see. That I couldn't Thoughtseize that turn, but we put a Souls of the Lost into the graveyard, unfortunately. See if we can draw something good here. Yeah, so Burn was tough. I could have maybe mulliganed more in game 3 to find my sideboard hate. That's fine. We have another black source in our hand. So that would have been nice. That could have made a difference. We'll get the Blood Crypt now. See if they have the Force of Negation. And then against Death Shadow, just totally mistapped my land to maybe get a game. Or maybe that was against Mill, I can't remember. Yeah, they do have the Force, but they don't even care. Why? I guess they want both of their blue cards. They don't have the land anyway. Maybe that's what they're thinking. So we'll take the Violent Outburst. All right. Main deck, Bone Crusher Giant. Let's see if they're still missing their land. We could really use a Souls of the Lost at this point. Yeah, let's see. It doesn't really matter. We'll see what they're drawing. They have a nice hand if they can hit land, and they are going to hit their land, which is unfortunate for us. Get in with the Stitcher Supplier. Yeah, I'm confusing the game. So Death Shadow, we were in a pretty grindy game 1, and sort of hit lands in the middle of the game when we needed to hit some action. We just hit too many lands in a row, couldn't catch back up. We were in a position to get there, and then game 2 we ended up not drawing lands, or missing color, if I remember correctly. And it was maybe, again, user error. We could have mulliganed that hand away. Yep. Stomp it is. So yeah, I mean, there's some lessons there to learn. Now, those aren't particularly terrible misplays. In the sense of like when I misclicked for the auto wire there in the other game and return my creature to my hand instead of my opponent's. Oh, that's a huge pun. Or like against Mill when I mistapped, like an idiot. Those are true misplays, right? I'm confused. Okay. I don't understand why that came in tapped. Did I miss something? Or did they just suspend crashing footfalls from hand, I guess? Subtlety. This is base 3. We'll put it on top and hope that it'll land, and we can pay for it. Now I know what it's like when I watch streamers who just start a thought and then don't finish it for like minutes. It's just really hard to continue talking in a coherent way sometimes while you're clicking and playing the game and trying not to make mistakes. So anyway, against Burn and Dimir Death Shadow, I feel like there were some things I could have done differently that might have paid off better. Some mulliganing choices. Those to me are just lessons you learn. They don't always work out. Even if I had mulliganed, I might not have gotten what I needed, for instance. And I could have been in worse shape, for instance, when I didn't hit a black source. But you learn, that's lessons learned, and it's why you play the game, right? Against Mill, mistapping, that's just a straight up punt. And then in game number 2 against him, man, I have to think about that game. I felt like we had a good hand, but they just were able to get so far ahead. I mean, just so far ahead on their card advantage, or on milling us out and maintaining the board state so that we couldn't get any real damage in. So they have the Mystical Dispute, right? I mean, am I crazy? Or did they exile it? That's what they exiled. Okay, well, let's just put them on a clock. We'll sacrifice a land. See if they have an answer to this. Okay, well, they're going to die next turn if they don't have something. And if they do get some rhinos, we can fatal push both of them. Hopefully they don't have just a bunch of tap down your creature shenanigans until they can get to their rhinos. Gone, that's fine. Could be worse. Could be a fatal push that they don't play. All right. So they're just at this point trying to stay alive. Fetch land would be good. Fatal push the Bone Crusher, get in for the Tarmogoyf. Lightning Bolt's not bad. So we can Lightning Bolt, get in with the Tarmogoyf, put them to 7. Play the Souls of the Lost. Force of Negation. They're down to no cards in hand just to get that force. Okay. Wow. Okay, they're really counting on these rhinos coming down, right? So what are we at? 2? This might be the first time I've played against rhinos where they didn't have multiple cascade spells. Are they going to block? Wow, they're not blocking even. That's cool. We're just going to keep blowing up our own lands. guess they know they're going to die to the Souls of the Lost if they do block. They need to stay alive one more turn to get to the rhinos. So what would we like? A fetch land? That would be our best draw, or just a lightning bolt again. Fetch land or lightning bolt? What do we got here? Fetch land it is. Let's go ahead and get, at this point, just a swamp. Just try not to make any mistakes. Target their creature. See if it's scoop time for them. So they have a bounce spell or a tap spell, and we are not going to kill them this turn, but it doesn't look like they do, unless it's an Ottawa maybe. And they're going to cascade now. This will be the, I guess I spoke too soon. If they have the cat, yep, spoke too soon. Go ahead and get one of those guys. Oh, put our opponent to 1. They have to block. This is where the Footfall Crater is. So yeah, I can't. Yeah, if they're at 1 and we lose to this, they're 0 cards. They get a crashing footfall. Man, this is gonna feel real bad. I just said it too. This is one of the few times I played against Cascade decks that don't have multiple Cascade spells, and then they had their second one to stay alive. So what do we need again? We need Fatal Push, our Lightning Bolt, our Crashing, our Footfall Crater. So we have 3 live draws. Probably get a land though, if I had to guess, but we can still attack and make them block, assuming they don't have some shenanigans. And they scoop it up. All right. And they scoop the match. That's too bad. This has been another edition of Keeping Modern Tanky. I'm Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com. Check out my website where you can read articles on my commander decks, my various modern brews, and my science fiction fantasy novel that I'm publishing serially every month. cyclesgaming.com. Be sure to click that like button and subscribe button on YouTube, and I'll see you on the next one.